Good evening. I would like to share a sequence of poems with you this evening. They are relatively self-explanatory, short stories. And so I don't think that they require any further introduction, other than to say that for me, they are my idea of a portrait of a city and its inhabitants. It could or could not be Gaborone. 1. Dreams. Dreams are evil, and I prefer nightmares. They show you what goes on in here reflects what goes on out there. Dreams lie. They lead you down a path where white chocolate flows undammed and mulberries fall unshaken from the trees. Nothing is less faithful, less real, or more untrue than a dream. Ask yourself, does your every waking moment have to be this hard? I, for one, am tired of spending sleepless nights, chasing hesitant tomorrows, biding my time just to spend it mending broken things that have no wish to be fixed. So I will not spin and spin inside the skin. I will not spin and spin inside the skin. I will not spin and spin inside the skin. I will not mourn a future I never had. I refuse to bleed myself on almost reality, rooted in the distant echoes of a once upon a voice chanting, I know I can, because I know I can. Be the girl I am right now. Live the life I have right now. Maybe even choose to be the dream I'm in right now. Maybe then, Gaborone, it won't seem so hard just to breathe right now. 1, 2, this is our man in Gaborone. We had come from the Kalahari and found ourselves in the company of a man. The type to sleep standing, or not unlike a lizard with one eye open, waiting to stay alive. We had been this way before and knew there were no farms, not for miles, just acacia and sun. Still this man was there, stained suitcase in hand, toes pointed up to cool his bare heels. Once we'd got past the shrubbery and sand, he spoke. Whatever happens, don't look back and don't stop. 1, 2, 3, this is 16. She had only been 16 for a month before the boys came calling. Dark-skinned question marks with arms like chain gang members. They whispered sweet nothings in her ear. Come, they said, come, Cinderella. They were here, there, everywhere. And they were divine, those bold princes of the night. She, the innocent, who never having erred, never having given birth, thought herself beyond it. They lay claim to her innocence, made she believe that day was night, made she believe that they were right, those bold princes of the night who wore crowns carved of virgin bone, and her flesh was golden tight, ripe, just right. They told her so. And I tell you again, she was only 16, script or not knowing what she's got, barely into her first act, she gave it all away. I remember her in my dreams sometimes, full-bodied, walking through fields of jasmine, trying to jazz men, not knowing that they had been here before, that they were just lost boys trying to find their manhood. I often wished she would realize that she was that fine line in the poem that lets you in like good wine and a basket of sin, but wide open was she while we said nothing, just watched shadows of men throw this little Lola into the lion's den. Well, she lies on broken brick now, face first, their selves the only prison you or I or she would ever need at 16. And we all used to say she was the sweetest child you had ever seen, until these boys with mouths untamed by familial palms come to this daughter's home offering false arms. She's so fly, they say, not acting her age or looking that way. But we knew We knew she was only 16, still too young to know her truth would find her someday, remembering lifetimes, lifetimes of glory sold for a moment's pleasure. Because life will consume you if you do not treasure yourself or it, and in the end you will only ever find yourself chasing the same beginnings in an attempt to live through some child again. 1, 2, 3, 4, this is bread for the birds. It rose above us like a god. And I remember thinking who or what would willingly give wings to such rage, but there it was. And so a benefactor must exist. Somewhere behind this communal mirror glass, a huge, angry, beastly cloud of a thing is setting its course and likening it to mine and yours. I remember seeing the sky as it scrunched, its face filling its cheeks with smoke and hurling rage at every man's door, at life's very factory gates, huffing and puffing till it sneezed, pouring citrus rain upon us, yet none of us, not one of us, knew what to call it. And since that day, it always seems as though no matter what we do, for each birth, we must give away one more than we will receive. For each 10 dead, perhaps 5 daughters will be born to remind us how we should have held on to what we had before fortune called, before tomorrow was gone. For we are but bread for the birds, dead before our very breath is heard, light as lead feathers lost to the wind. We sink in a quagmire of our own making. And to look at us now, we are not much more than jaded shopkeepers with nothing left to sell, merchants charmed into a blindfolded trade against the merciless rage and the machines. They do not even care whether we live or die. This war to them is nothing personal. In this war to them, we are the ones on a fool's errand. Yet in this gingerbread man existence, we think ourselves gods, changing things, breaking things to live as kings, leaving costly crumbs wherever we go. Yet we, you and I, are but bread for the birds. We are the baker and the baked. Our deeds name us the sly fox, and still we are running as fast and as far as we can from these facts and ourselves. And when our turn upon this wheel is done, our sons, our daughters into this chaos will run, and they will mourn the authors of their demise with a truth as sincere as a lie. While the air turns their gaze putrid with inherited greed, with the loss of everything green, they will become the perfect puppeteer's industrial dream, for we are none of us the light beams we should have become, none of us, it seems, example what we were meant to become, beacons in a world with only so much sun. But perhaps I speak too soon, and you, or perhaps you are a voice dissident amidst the few. They will ask you who you think you are to find your own right when everyone else is left behind. Tell them you know your castle is made of sand and air, that you are a thing alone, fragile, breakable, exposed in this roofless fort, and that nameless thing that started it all, it was us all along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decades by way of goodbye. This is my plea for you to not shoot the messenger. This is Neon Poem.